guys, it's Jeff from Fresh Your Luck. Now I'm going to start off this video by saying if you're one of those people who are a huge stickler for being a traditionalist with a specific recipe, now is the time for you to click that little X button or to watch a video of two puppies hugging each other, which is also completely understandable if you want to watch that, because I would watch that too. But if you don't mind making a wonderfully delicious soup that is so incredibly authentic in taste, but using ingredients that are much easier to locate and find, this is going to be the soup for you. Now, you've been warned again. If you're a traditionalist, you're going to yell at me, you're going to say mean things, but if you don't really care and you just care about how awesome it tastes, and if it tastes just like that wonderful soup you know, it's time to make some Tom Kha Gai soup right in the Instant Pot. And the best part is the ingredients, like I said, are so accessible. Now, this soup has many varieties in taste. Some people like it sweeter, some people like it spicier. This is going to make it really easy for you to adjust on your own. So let's just get to it, right to the Instant Pot. Tom Kha Gai soup. Now, I want to start with 2 stalks of lemongrass. This stuff is really long. It's almost like a riding crop. You see that? And you can find it at most large markets. If you can't find it at all, that's fine. We'll just use about a tablespoon of lemon juice. But this stuff really does make the soup, in my opinion. Now, we don't really even eat the lemongrass. It's more about just putting it in there to flavor the soup because it's very fibrous. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up, and then I'm going to cut it into kind of like outer rings. The part of the lemongrass that's really the most edible is the center of the lower third part of it here. So I'm going to give it a bris. Yeah! And then after we slice each stalk in half, you'll see there's lots of layers, kind of like those like Russian nesting dolls. Now the inner part is going to be softer, so that could be edible, but the other outer part, not really. But what we want to do is we still want to reserve this because it's going to flavor the soup, and it's going to be this amazing lemongrassy type flavor. You can actually smell it. It smells fantastic. So cut it up into pieces like this, and then just set aside. And then you can just discard the top portion of it. And then we're going to take some scallions, just a bunch of them, about 5 of them or so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just chop them up into little slices, so they look like this afterwards. Then we want to take about a pound of a thinly sliced chicken cutlet or chicken breast, and then slice it up into sizable slices just like this. I'll also take 1 lime and juice it. Now to the Instant Pot, I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm also going to add in 2 13.5 to 14 ounce cans of coconut milk. Make sure you use the kind that's in a can. This is a key ingredient in a Tom Kha Gai soup. If you can find this squeezed ginger made by Spice World, I highly recommend it because I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of like a minced or crushed ginger. We don't want to actually put a whole stalk of ginger. I want to actually use like a more of a minced ginger for this. Kind of looks like applesauce a little bit, right? All right, 1 tablespoon of that. Let's add in the lime juice. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Now, don't let that throw you off. It really makes the soup as well. Don't worry about it. It's not going to taste like fish. 2 tablespoons of this. It might smell a little pungent, but don't worry about it. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Toasted or regular is just fine. Look at how that happens. A half a tablespoon of a sweet dry basil. 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red chili flakes. I'm also going to add in a half a tablespoon of a white granulated sugar. I'm going to add in my chicken. Let's also add in our scallions, the lemongrass, and I'm totally on a mushroom high right now. I'm going to add in 1 8-ounce package of Baby Bella mushrooms. You can use any kind of mushrooms you like, really, but I love Baby Bella, and make sure they're sliced. Let's add those in there. Now give everything a good stir. And once we've mixed our mushrooms in with our soup, we're going to add in 2 bay leaves, 1 and 2, and then just stir those up with our soup and our mushrooms, and then let's secure our lid, and then make sure that we're in sealing position. Then we'll come down to the control panel here, hit manual or pressure cook, depending on your model, and then go for 6 minutes on high pressure. That's it. That's quick release. Smelling like an amazing Thai restaurant in here right now. The pin has fallen, so the lid comes off. And voila! Looking amazing, smelling incredible. So let's just take a spoon now and just give this delicious Tom Kha Gai soup a nice stir. Now's a good time to also fish out those bay leaves and discard them. Now, I know this is totally untraditional and it's a little sacrilegious possibly to a Tom Kha Gai soup, so I'll probably get flack for it. I'm adding in a half a tablespoon of a hot sauce. The next secret ingredient, and do not skip this, is 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of a pad Thai sauce. Oh, and look at how great that is with our chicken and our mushrooms and our scallions and all the lemongrass in there. I'm also going to add about 2 tablespoons of a freshly chopped cilantro. Try to use fresh. If you hate cilantro, just leave it out. And stir that into our soup. And there we have it. We're all ready to ladle this into some bowls. Make sure we get a bunch of the good stuff in there. Yeah, right into the bowl. Put some of that soup in there. All right, and now let's top it off with a little bit of cilantro for a garnish. Perfection. Let's eat it up. All right, my favorite part. And let's try it out. All right. Oh, wow. This is like a seriously, amazingly delicious Tom Kha Gai soup. Sign me up for this one, guys. The flavor is like the Tom Kha Gai soup that you know and love. This soup can be very subjective as well. If you want it sweeter, you can always add in some more pad thai sauce or maybe another half a tablespoon of sugar. But always test that out at the sugar part at the very, very end. Or if you want it spicier, you can simply add in some cayenne pepper, like a quarter of a teaspoon or an eighth of a teaspoon. The chicken is so tender and juicy. The flavors are just happiness. This is the perfect soup to have when you're wearing a hoodie and you're on the couch and all bundled up and watching your favorite Netflix shows. Or Barbra Streisand concerts. If you like Tom Kha Gai soup, if you like soups in general, like anything in terms of food being delicious, go to pressureluckcooking.com. You can hover over any photo on any recipe and pin it to any board that you please. And there's a million things on there to find. There's tips, there's tons of recipes, more coming each week. Go to facebook.com/pressureluckcooking and like the page. Tons of live videos, things that whenever a recipe comes out, you'll know about it there first if you're subscribed. Follow me on Twitter at PressureLuck, on Instagram, all that stuff. Thank you a million. I appreciate all your support, and come over and have some Tom Kha Gai soup. It's phenomenal. It's delicious. You're gonna love it.